let's dig into what Canon Law says about fundraising. Greetings, my fellow Catholic, from the cold Detroit, city of Detroit. Here I am, and check this really cool thing out. Vatican flag hanging proud out here. Anyways, I want to talk to you about Canon 1262. I've written all my notes on my hand so I can just walk and talk. So Canon 1262 pretty much says that you can fundraise and that Catholics are supposed to donate. So pretty clear. You're allowed to ask and people are expected to give. Now, however, Canon Law isn't that simple, obviously. If it were, it wouldn't be called a law. So the bishops have provided a document that kind of outlines what to do and how to do this Canon Law, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The link to their guidelines on Canon 1262 you can find them in the notes to this video and this audio recording to help you out even further. So there are 4 things that I found that are very, very helpful with this Canon Law, and I'm going to share them with you. These 4 simple guidelines from the bishops to make sure we're doing a good job and they're giving us the thumbs up. So here are the 4 things that the bishops say you should be doing with your fundraising. Number 1 is you actually have to get approval from your local bishop, or if you're a religious order, your superior. But you can't just go off and say, hey, I'm fundraising for a Catholic cause without getting some type of approval. And this is really important because I find a lot of people have a great idea and they want to go fundraising, but they haven't spoken to their bishop. So you've got to speak to your bishop, you got to speak to somebody and get approval. That's step 1. Number 2 is you've got to be truthful and theologically sound. Sounds simple, but it's not, because, well, you're dealing with money and you're dealing with asking people. So this is probably one of the biggest hurdles for people, is to be theologically sound with not just how you ask, but how you think about money, how you are approaching money, and how your reasons for fundraising. Sometimes we don't really need money to do something for God. Take, for example, Mother Teresa, and I'm going to be doing a blog on her shortly about her mentality on fundraising. Very, very inspiring, inspirational. I learned a whole lot from her, but she went off and she pretty much was doing things without money. So you have to be theologically sound about why you're fundraising. That's number 2. Number 3 is, rewind before the number 3. Number 2 is you cannot, and the bishops are very clear about this, you cannot give a fundraiser a percentage of whatever they raise. They are clear about this, that you can't have a percentage fee. And I'm saying this because a lot of Catholic organizations are asking me, well, go fundraise and you take a percentage of what you get. This, the bishops say, you are not allowed to do. So anytime a fundraiser is saying, oh, I'll take 5, 10, 15%, you're not allowed to do that. You got to structure your agreement with them in a different way. So number 3 is you have to be really clear on the why you're fundraising. You can't just say, hey, we're Catholic and we're doing good work. You got to be specific about what the money's going to be used for, how are you going to use it, and it pretty much comes down to having a case for support. And I spend a lot of time with Catholic organizations outlining their case for support because it's super, super important. The why is really, really, really important, and that's what the bishops are stressing in their guidelines. So number 4, and I'm going to be turning the corner. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad because I got to walk back because I'm getting cold. Number 4 is you've got to continually communicate. And so even when the campaign is over and you've raised the money, it doesn't end. And the bishops are very specific about this. You've got to keep people up to speed. Some people think of this just as an annual report, but they recommend going even further. It's not just about, communicating once a year about what you did. They're really stressing continual communication, and I'm delighted that they're saying this, because this is one of the key things that I do with my fundraising, is to figure out some type of plan or just outlining how you're going to keep people up to speed about how you're spending the money, the great work that you're doing, because you know what? People are really interested in learning about this stuff and knowing that you're making an impact with the funds that are raised. So these are the guidelines from the bishops. Again, the links you can find are below in the show notes. And send me a comment about your thoughts on canon law, your thoughts on fundraising. Every now and again, I get some people are kind of critical about this stuff, and I get it. And they're looking out, and they want me to make sure that I'm doing everything right. So I really appreciate your comments, even if you're trying to, you're being critical. You're coming from a good position, and you just want to make sure that other Catholics are doing the right thing. So this is Brice Sokolowski. God bless you, and have a great week. Bye. If you enjoyed this video on fundraising, make sure to subscribe. Right over there, it's going to be somewhere. Also, if you just enjoyed the scenic views of Catholicism in France, make sure to subscribe as well. And just follow me along on learning how to fundraise and seeing the beauty of Catholicism in the south of France. Cheers. Santé.